Alright, hello everybody. Today we're going to be going over how to do Vizaduum, the Watcher, in Upper Karazhan. So Upper Karazhan, Lower Karazhan, and Cathedral of the Eternal Light are all very overtuned for the level that they're at in comparison to the other dungeons. And that's just because, obviously, being the new dungeons introduced in Mythic Plus, I don't think they were scaled to the same extent that the original dungeons were. So you'll find that these bosses on relatively the same difficulty are significantly harder. You compare this to something like Vault of the Wardens, More of Souls, whatever. They are, they pale in comparison. So I'm just going over this boss just because we had a really interesting strategy on how to do it, and I thought it might be helpful for some people who might be getting stuck on this boss. So in the first phase here, it's just really important that you, once the Shadow Orb debuff comes out, that person's standing still, and then you can dispel them. You can actually run into those orbs if you're the person who has the debuff on them. So that is just one thing to note. You do want to make sure you're interrupting the boss whenever you can and just dispelling. The first phase is pretty simple, and just make sure you also run away from the fire patches on the ground just so nobody gets knocked back and died from it. You'll see here there's a little bug where you don't get it the first time if it spawns on you, but that's fine. So the second phase is the big thing I wanted to go over. So the big part in this fight is actually the second phase. I do believe the second phase is the hardest part because you do have a lot of restricted movement due to these laser beam things being here. Now, something we did find out is that the boss doesn't actually phase change if you don't run within that inner circle there. So what you can do is you can just stand, if you have enough ranged, one range is even enough, you can just kill the boss essentially in this phase here, and you can push him, well, not kill the boss, you can get him to about 33% before when he phase changes again. So what it does do is you cast Disintegrate on one person, and you'll see it's casting on our mage here. Our mage is ducking between right and mid, and everyone else can just stand on the left and kill the boss. So this essentially allows you just to completely bypass this phase by just having one person dodging disintegrates, and you're not having to deal with the very, very, very overtuned, awful combination that is what is bombard. You get bombardment, and then you get the shadow orb debuff, and then you get a disintegrate. Trying to dodge that while having something like volcanic, or just trying to dodge it without even additional ground effects like volcanic, is ridiculously hard, considering that pretty much every single mechanic one shots you on a on this difficulty. And even at lower difficulties, if you compare a 21 to something like what's that eye boss in the Vault of the Wardens where it shoots out those things on the ground, they don't even do anywhere near close to the damage of this disintegrate. I don't know, it just, Upper Car is overtuned, and I really do think it should be scaled back 20% almost on every single boss damage ability. And even some of the mechanics, I think that this boss here really needs to be doing those shadow orb mechanics before the bombardments come out. But that's something that really should have been play tested before it actually got released. And then obviously coming into the last phase, so what you want to be trying to do as well in that second phase is you're saving all your cooldowns so you can get to this last phase and blow hero and blow up the boss. Anyway, I hope this helps you killing this boss. It really does trivialize this boss almost, which well, you might call it, it's not an exploit at all, to be honest. It's just them not making a timer on the ability and taking advantage of that. But it is this dungeon is very fucking overtuned, and it's not really fun if you get a high key on it, because you pretty much can't do it. Just like Shader Medivh, the flame wreath damage is just ridiculous. But anyway, hope you enjoy something. Hope you learned something and enjoy. Fucking exploits, boys! Fuck yeah, dude! Alright, Lejo. Oh. Alright, he wants to do it on time. Oh, god damn. Any Warforged? Not even a fucking Warforged. What a fucking